Okay, fellas, welcome to class. Now, I don't want to have to remind you that class starts at 8 a.m. Some of you were a little late. In fact, I don't want to name names, but one of you came in 15 minutes late. Okay, time to begin. Now, I graded some of your papers last night, and I don't know how many times I have to tell you, I don't want footnotes, man. Scott over here had a 15-page paper with 10 sources. While it was beautiful and very well written, it took me over an hour to read. Now that's just too much. All I'm looking for is, how did the information affect you? What did it do for you? That's all I want to know. All right, Petter, are you ready to present?
I didn't actually know I was presenting today. Yeah, I'm not really prepared actually today to present. I thought on a syllabus it said something different.
Looks like I had the wrong day.
So for Edwards, God's possible realities here are going to mesh in and transcend the actual realities here, even though God is all potentiality and actuality in one, which for Edwards, he would say all contributes and emphasizes God's divine aseity. You can say that again. Can you just help me to wrap my mind around Jonathan Edwards and what he's talking about? I mean, what kind of guy was he? You know, we talk about all these grand concepts, and I'm just thinking, man, I am just so unequipped to handle this right now. I just need some help. Can you just help me just think through some of these concepts? I would be very grateful. Good. So for Edwards, his response would be, you have aseity here, and for him, this is part and parcel of his religious idealism and his materialism, counteracting and counterbalancing God's transcendence over creation.
So what does this look like practically? Bottom line, brass tacks, bottom dollar, what is the absolute big takeaway we have from this? What's the big practical takeaway for us as pastors going out in the world? We need to learn something from this. What do we learn?
Right, good, practicality. So for Edwards, the practicality is mostly going to consist of the potentiality of God's infinity and divine transcendentalistic revelation. That's awesome.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha V'shanan tam levanecha V'dabart bam B'shiftika B'vektika U'velektika B'derek U'veshukbaka U'vakumeka.
Okay, can someone parse this verb for me? Chris.
Well, you got the mem performative, often associated with the PL or the puel verbs, followed by a hirik yod and a mem, masculine plural ending, masculine plural, mem performative, you bring them together. I'm gonna go with a PL participle masculine plural.
Okay, Toby. Now, wait a minute.
Well, I'm inclined to say because the Sere turns to a schwa and a participle.
Tell Mahone! Oh, brother. Tell Mahone, brother.
Come on.
John, could we say that this might be a biblical reason to have one service at one time?
Well,
See, the reason I'm asking is that the text seems to be together at all times.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, and the reason I'm saying that is, I mean, at Bethlehem, we have one church, but we have multiple services and we have multiple campuses in the same church.
Okay, not really sure if you want me to answer your question, but okay.
Okay, I just gotta say, this text blew my mind. It was crazy. I was talking to Cheyenne about it last night, and I was like, dude, this text is insane. She was like, Nico, what do you mean? I was like, okay, I'll show you what I mean. So I started showing her the text, dude, and we started just like exegeting and going through all the passages, and oh my gosh, like it was just so rich, and it was like so good, and it was just crazy how much like insight we got out of it, dude. It was crazy.
Okay, it appears we've completely gotten off track, but yeah. So, as we were saying, we're going to read some Hebrew text now at this point, and Luke, good to see you. I'm not sure you're technically in this class, but okay.
All right. Bonus question 3. Micah. Yeah, so I said that the historical context doesn't really apply to this verse. Did you read Wallace? I did. I don't know if I agree with him at this point. I don't really think it's necessary for this verse. Jeepers. Scott, what did you put? Well, on page 264 of Wallace, in one of the footnotes, he distinguishes in 3 different parts the role of the article. So that's why I had what I had. Bingo! See, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Why can't you all be more like Scott?
I don't buy it.
What?
I don't buy it. I think it's baloney.
Okay, moving on. Carlton?
Well, I'm gonna have to go with Lund on this one.
Okay, moving on. So, is he saying here that we should speak in tongues?
Well, I've seen a lot of speaking in tongues, and I wouldn't always call it actual speaking in tongues. Like in my church, they just would say, should have bought a Honda, but about a Kia, over and over again.
Frank?
My heart really felt the weight of this passage when I realized we can just be so wicked, and yet there's so much grace for us. I didn't know how to reason through that, but this passage really helped me.
Okay, good work, boys. Oh, we got a visitor from my good friend Jason DeRoshi. All right, gentlemen, State of the Union.